The opinions expressed in this television show is solely that of the person who expressed them and not the opinion of the Emily Pearl Show, its sponsors, or affiliates. Although the Emily Pearl Show may take stances on individual shows, the show itself remains an entertainment platform. Free thought is a philosophy and not a prophecy. The opinions expressed in this television show is free thought is a philosophy and not a prophecy.
All right. Hello, everybody. Surprise, 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 surprise. That's right. It's Pearl's Politics, and I am politicking and from broadcasting in the middle of the day. Okay. So why, you say, am I broadcasting in the middle of the day? Well, I'm broadcasting in the middle of the day because I got up at 3 o'clock, about 3:30 this morning. Yeah, I mean, up at 3:30 this morning, and so I'm gonna be definitely going to bed early. Matter of fact, I um still hurting from my arthritis. Y'all know I have arthritis. With all this rain, we had 2 days rain in Memphis, Tennessee, and this is the third day. It was raining this morning. It just tempered off. So I'm like, okay. So I guess that's why my pain is probably tempering off in just a little bit, So I know a lot of people don't like politics, but I'm just sending out invitations to those that's on my list. If y'all don't want to watch the politics, y'all don't have to watch them. I understand. But As you know, I haven't done politics in some time for a number of reasons, but right now it's quite a bit going on. I just had to get my voice out there because it's only 40 days to election time. 40 days to time for you to vote. That's right, y'all. 40 days away from time for y'all to vote. So I want to talk about some things this morning. I need y'all to understand that your vote, that if your vote is important to you, I'm doing two things, and if y'all notice, I had to play my intro twice, is because my intro has been cut short. I used to have it really long, so that I could take care of my business by sharing, starting to watch party and typing in the welcomes and all that. So now in Studio 2, we can only have a certain amount of length on our intros or videos, and that the studio will hold at one time. I'll be happy when they expand that, but I understand right now, so many people trying to do so many things on the internet, and everybody trying to do so much broadcasting on the internet, that the bandwidth has to be shared equally. But I want to talk about the coronavirus. I want to talk about your vote, the election, and I got a surprise for y'all at the end of the show. That's right. Hey, Janada, welcome. Hey, Thomas Jackable, welcome. I love y'all. I know a lot of people are working, but like I said, I didn't get a chance to do the show last night because my arthritis was fussing back and forth with me, just cutting up, y'all, with all this rain. I was feeling the hurricane, for real. And I'm still hurting, but I just had to bring y'all up to date as to what's going on in the world today. So y'all share the show to those people that y'all know maybe are not working, and then later on you can share with them after they get off of work, because they really need to know this. This is important. The first thing I want to talk about is your vote. If your vote is important to you, before I even get to about the election, if your vote is important to you, it's important to know that it is only 40 days away from the big election, right? We vote nationwide, most nationwide on November 2nd. Some states have already voted. That's a general election. It's different. But for those of you who have not voted yet, it's only 40 days away. Those days will slip by so fast on you before you know it. So do not wait till the last minute. And I'm going to emphasize to you why. Because number one, the first thing you need to do is you need to call your voter registration office in your town, your city, where you live now, not where you used to live. Because I know in 4 years, we move about. Call your election registrar's office now and find out what is your location to vote. If they tell you your old place where you used to live, that means that you need to update your stuff right now. And I'll tell you why. Because if you go to the wrong election poll to cast your vote on election day and your address is not correct, they will either do one of two things. They're going to send you to the location where you are, according to their records, are supposed to vote. Or they're going to give you a provisional voting ballot. Now, let me tell you what's wrong with both of those things. And a lot of people just don't know this. Let me tell you what's wrong with both of those things. On the first option is to, if they send you to the location where their records show that you're supposed to vote, and you get there and it's not showing that that's the location where you're supposed to vote, even though that last location said that's where you're supposed to vote, go and vote now. So something happened. Either you had a change of mail address for your mail, or you moved from one location or one district to another, whatever. At any rate, when you get to, there is what is called a provisional ballot law, whereas they would give you a paper ballot. That's information that you can fill out that will allow you to vote at one of those two locations, so as to not to keep in with the law, because there's a law saying that you should not be turned away from the poll. In other words, you should not be turned away from being allowed to cast your vote. So in order to not violate the law, what they do is they give you a provisional ballot, what they call a provisional ballot. This is the form where you put in your new information, and it allows you an opportunity to vote. So what's wrong with that? What's wrong with it is that a provisional ballot vote is not counted. No, it's not counted. Why? It's not counted because you did not vote in the particular location where they said that you were eligible to vote in, or you were not even on the rolls to vote. So, therefore, they cannot count that vote because they consider it as not valid, even though you voted. But the only reason why they let you vote is to not be in violation of the law, which says that they cannot turn anybody away and keep them from voting. But there is no law that says your provisional ballot must be counted. So they consider those provisional ballots as null and void. They are not counted. They are not counted, particularly in red states. And Tennessee is a red state. And that's a lot of the main reason why Tennessee remains a red state is because most people of color are considered registered voters as Democratic registered voters, and most people of color move around a lot. Most people of color are not homeowners, which allows them to stay in one place for years, 20 years, 50 years, 15 years. They rent. And so therefore, they rent from apartment to apartment, from location to location. And therefore, the address changes all the time. So when they go to vote, because they did not know that their provisional ballot is not going to be counted, and because they did not know that every time you move, you have to call your registrar voters office, election commissioner, whatever it's called, to update your address. Well, they don't tell you to do this stuff. Why? Because they either want to keep it a red state or they want to keep it a blue state. Okay? But I would like for everybody to know, regardless as to whether your state is a red state or a blue state, you need to call your election commission today and make sure that your address where you are living now is updated. In other words, whatever ID that you're going to show to the person when you go to vote, that address that's on that ID must match that address down there on their paper, okay? So just call, even if you haven't moved or had a change of address for your mail only. Call your election commission today, give them your name, ask them, where are you supposed to vote this year? That's all you got to ask them. Don't tell them nothing. Don't give them the whole story about, well, I used to live on such and I used to live in the, and now I moved, and then after that I moved. Don't even go through all that. Just say, my name is so and so, so and so, so, and I would like to know, where am I supposed, in what voting poll location am I supposed to vote this year? That's all you got to ask them. Then let them take it from there. Okay. And then if they have to ask you some additional questions, and that's when you answer. Don't volunteer any information. Okay. That's the worst thing you can do. Just call them, give them your name, say, I'm calling to see at which voting location am I supposed to vote this year? Okay. In November. And you can even say that if you want to. And you can even say on November 2nd to make it perfectly clear. Okay. Hi, Cedric. Hi, David. Y'all go ahead and make sure y'all share this now and all day to let people know this, because, like I say, people, we move around. And we don't know to check this stuff ahead of time because they don't teach us that. They don't tell you that. And they have reasons for not telling you. Like I said, red states want to keep the states red. Some blue states want to keep the blue states red. I mean, blue. But all of that can change if we just do what we're supposed to do. Check your voting location status now, because it's only 40 days away. That would give you plenty of time to go down there if you have to go down there, communicate with them online, email, or however they, it's convenient for you to get it done in time, so that when you do go to vote, whether it be early voting or the regular day. Now, I always go to early voting, and I always go in person. Now, I know it's COVID, but as some of you know, I've already been tested for COVID, and my test was negative. But cause what? I took precautions. I even put myself on stay at home in early February, around February 17, way before March, before they came down from the White House. From their point on, I wore a mask and a shield at all times when I'm out. So I'm going to the poll, but I'm going to early voting, because I don't know. I don't even want to talk about what issues that might go on with the mail in ballot, because we don't know that yet. But what will happen is we won't know till the day of the election. I can promise you that. So I'm going in person because my vote is important to me, and I really want my vote to count. And the only way I can know for sure that my vote is counted is when I push that handle and I hear that thing click and my little card comes out. I know it's counted. I know it's in there. It's in there. Okay. I'm taking my lawn chair, and I'm gonna be there when the door is open, but I'm still taking my lawn chair. I'm taking my good old structured water with me. I'm gonna have me some extra medication in my bag. So I'm going prepared because I want to put my vote in person. That's just me. But for those of you who plan to vote by mail, find out what you have to do. Call your election commission and say, look, how do I do the mail-in ballot for November? Let them give you information. Like I say, don't go into the long story about, well, I'm a senior citizen now. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make. Don't go into all that. Them folks busy. Just say, Look, I'm calling to find out how do I do a mail-in vote for November. Okay. Y'all know me. I just like to take straight to the point. So just say share this again and again. Thanks for sharing positives. Encourage us. You are welcome. Encouraging people to register and vote early is good for distance practice. You're right, Cedric. And I've always voted early voting ever since they created it. I thought that was the best thing since white bread for me. Because I'm not one for standing in lines, even when I wasn't old yeah, and decrepit. Even everybody hate lines. Y'all young folks hate lines too, you know. So I've always voted early. And but this thing about making sure that you are in the right place, because see, I've also worked as a volunteer at voting polls, and I know the story. I know the insides and the outsides of it all. Mm-hmm. Before I began to have trouble with my epilepsy and my arthritis so bad, I worked the polls. I would have to be there at 6 o'clock in the mornings and work until after 8 o'clock at night. And I did that. See, I retired in 2011. So I did that for 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 5 years. So I know the ins and outs of it. And that is what we do. And I have seen people show up at the voting location where they had always been voting. They just showed up there and thought that that's where they're supposed to vote. But no, something happened between the time that it was the last time you voted, because everybody don't vote every election. A lot of people don't vote when they're local elections. So between the last time you voted, not the last time there was an election or something going on, but something happened between the last time you actually voted until this time. Whereas we won't show you on the poll as a registered voter. And then if we do show you on the polls, we show you as being a registered vote in some other location. I can't tell you how many times I've had to tell voters that, oh, you are registered as to vote in such and such a location. And then the next question they ask me is, well, how do I get there? I don't know where it is now. I can just tell you and give you the address, and you can just go there. But that's what happens. And see, and then if you send a voter from this place to the next place, and then when they get to the next place, somebody else tells them the same thing, but give them a different location where they're supposed to go and vote. People, they're not going to go to the third location. They're not going. By this time, they're sick of it. They're fed up. They're just not going to vote. So that's why I say if your vote is important to you, not important to Republicans, not important to the Democrats, not important to Trump, not important to Nancy Pelosi, not important to Biden, not important to politicians. If your vote is important to you, then you need to start digging and researching today to find out, where are you supposed to go to vote for the November election? Okay? All right. I just wanted to share that part with you. Thank you, Ruth Russell, for telling me happy birthday. Thank you. Now, y'all share, if you don't share the show, at least share this knowledge that I have just shared with you with somebody else that you know are planning to vote, particularly senior citizens, because a lot of senior citizens don't know that. But most senior citizens, they're homeowners. They've kind of been in the same location for a number of years. But in some circumstances now, they haven't. They've gone to live with a son, a daughter, a relative. And that's the situation. Then if they've changed their ID to match their new location where they're living with a relative, a son, or daughter, because of age and they need a little helping out, then when they get to the poll, they're not going to be able to vote at the same old location. So you need to share it with everybody, except newly registered voters. Well, even newly registered voters, it depends on when did they vote or have they voted at all? Because we could have a newly registered voter that registered to vote in January and didn't vote for a local part of the election that we just had, back here in April or something, which means they haven't voted at all. So if they have moved, since they registered to vote in January and they've moved, then their ID is not going to match what's on the roll, and they're going to either be given a provisional ballot or they're going to be sent to a new location. So that rule applies to everybody, regardless of age, regardless of race, creed, color, and political party. That rule applies to everybody. So please share that knowledge, okay? Hey, 50 Cent, Curtis C. Jackson, thanks for joining my show. What's going on up there in Hollywood? Where are you now? Okay, now, y'all know I got to take a little break before I go to the next topic, don't you? Next topic I'm going to, I don't know, just stay tuned and find out. Now, as y'all know, I did my 901 show Tuesday night, so I'm not going to announce that. But I am going to show y'all where I'm going to be celebrating my birthday dinner. I'll show y'all that one, all right? All right, I'll be right back.
The Cupboard Restaurant in Memphis, Tennessee is world famous for some of the best food and Southern hospitality you'll ever find, and is a celebrity favorite. Open from 7 a.m. till 8 p.m. every day. The Cupboard Restaurant is located at 1400 Union Avenue, 1 block east of Cleveland, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Got a large group? Groups of any size are welcome, and catering is available. While you're there, pick up a copy of Charles Capella's world-famous cupboard cookbook. Check out their website at www.thecupboardrestaurant.com. That's The Cupboard Restaurant, 1400 Union, 901-276-8015. A proud sponsor of The Emily Pearl Show.
All right, y'all. I made it on back. All right. Okay. So next, I'm just going to talk just briefly about the coronavirus so that y'all know that the latest update I heard on the news this morning is, they got different companies working on the vaccine. And the earliest that they think it's going to be out is April, even though President Trump is trying to push one before some stations, some reporters say even before November. Well, regardless as to when it's going to come out, or when it comes out, 61% of the people are saying, and they showed the stats this morning, that they are not sure. They don't think that they're going to take it because they feel like it's a rush job. And the rest of people are divided. Rest of the percentage is divided between yes, which makes it low, and then the other half of that lower percentage is saying they're not sure. So just want to let you know that. And Johnson & Johnson is the latest company to throw their hat into the their coin into the hat to try to develop a vaccine. And so I saw that spokesperson talk this morning. And he says that the difference between their vaccine and the other vaccines, which I didn't even know, apparently the vaccines that they think that's going to be out in April, you have to have 2 shots at the same time. So the Johnson & Johnson spokesperson says the difference between their vaccine that they're working on And the others is that you only have to have one shot one time. So we'll see. We'll see. But like I told you guys in February, this is a very serious plague that has been put upon us. It is nothing to play with. We've already lost over 203,333 souls as of this morning. So I told y'all in February that it's going to be a long, long, long deal that we're going to go through. Despite what the politicians and the scientists and everybody else is telling you. Now, I'm not trying to be a bearer of bad news. I'm just being telling you what common knowledge and common sense can, if you just calculate within your own mind, you'll be able to see that it doesn't look like it's going anywhere soon. In fact, some scientists have even come out and went ahead and spoke what they feel. They say that they're feeling like that we're going to be dealing with this for the next 2 years. So we will deal with it, but that's all we can do. What can we do? We cannot do anything about it because what? It's in God's hands. It's not in the politicians' hands. It's not in the scientists' hands. It's not in the biologist's hands. It's not in climate woman hands. It's not in the WHO, World Health Organization hands. It's not in any of those people's hands. All they can do is do their job. It's in God's hands. It's in God's hands. At the bottom line, that's the bottom line. Okay. If you want to talk to somebody about it, that's who we should be talking to. Okay. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Scott. All right. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Just stay safe and try to do like me. Wear a mask. And people, please, please, please wash your mask when you go out and come back in the house. And when you go, I see some people out when I'm about, the mask looks so dirty. I'll be like, good God Almighty, what good is mask? The mask isn't clean. It's just filthy. I know y'all seen some people like this too. Y'all look, if y'all know people that's doing that, that's just nasty. Tell those people to please wash their masks. If they can't afford one, keep washing that one. Keep washing it until it just turns to a red. And then if they can't afford to buy another one, and those masks are relatively cheap now, please buy one for them if you can. Just give, pay it for it, buy a mask for them. But not washing your mask when you come in from outside. Like me, I mostly stay in the house. But I use a disposable mask, those blue ones, go over both of yours. But then I wear my plastic shield. I'll tell when I take a break, I'll come back and put my shield on for y'all to show y'all what I'm talking about. I got some cute ones. I got a really cute one I'm going to wear for my birthday dinner on Saturday. I'm not going to tell you, it's going to be a surprise, but I'm going to show you my everyday one that I wear. And I actually have 3 of those everyday ones. And I wash those, I wipe those down too, but they are plastic shields. And so I have 2 of my fancy ones, but y'all know me. I'm a diva. I'm everything, even when it comes to COVID. But they have wearing that mask and my shield, God knows, I believe, protected me from having COVID. And said I had pneumonia. Something what there is a cure for. God's good. So, but please tell those people to wash those masks. God, and I mean, I even see some of those NR or whatever, the big thick ones that people wear, they dirty on the outside. That's just not going to work, people. That's why we are still spreading this virus. That's just not going to work. You need 2 or 3 of those NR or whatever, the ones that got the hard covers. You need 2 or 3 of those so that you can clean one thoroughly, and while it's drying, you can wear the other clean one. When you come back, you clean that one, and then when you go out, you get the one that you cleaned before that and put that one on. Because if you're not cleaning those masks, I don't care what they say about the filter that around the nose part is supposed to filter out. That's just for a sale, okay? Nothing cleans like soap and water and alcohol. I don't care what nobody says. Hey, clean that mask up. Scott, happy birthday. Thank you, Scotty. Okay, so look, I want to talk about, I'm going to make the election last thing because I got something that's really going to trip y'all out that happened this morning. Some of y'all may have already seen on news. But the next thing I want to talk about is how some of these governors, we know the CARES package. We don't have that. What in the world was Nancy Pelosi thinking? Oh, was she thinking at all when she didn't take the skinny deal that was proposed 2 weeks ago, Thursday, by the Republicans, that they were going to give people $300, which is better than nothing, which is what people are getting now, $300 a week. And the states was to put up $100, which would have made it $400 a week, right? So Nancy Pelosi, Democrat, along with her Democratic colleagues, would not accept the deal. So people have nothing, absolutely nothing. That skinny deal was also going to stop evictions from people being thrown out, being homeless. Even though the CDC, the WHO, World Health Organization, and everybody, even politicians, agree that people don't need to be homeless during this COVID crisis. But yet, and still, Democrats turned down the skinny deal. That they turned down this deal that would have prevented renters from being evicted, as well as homeowners who are paying mortgages that cannot afford to pay them, have their homes foreclosed on. To me, I cannot even recollect that. I saw two things happen out of that when she did that, when she called for that no deal. I said, number one, she just handed the presidency right back to Donald Trump on a silver platter. Why? Because it's mostly minorities, people of color, who are Democrats. And you just took some money and food and shelter out of their mouth? Really? And you think that they're going to vote for you? A lot of people are going to be angry with Democrats because they turned down that skinny bill that would have helped them. Turned down that skinny bill that would have kept them from being thrown on the street. A lot of Democrats are going to be angry, but don't get me wrong. Some Republicans in there too. A lot of people, and some independents. A lot of people are going to be angry about that. And they're going to remember that in November. Because right now, the way it stands, the only thing they agreed on was to keep the budget running last week. To keep the government from shutting down. But they didn't vote on anything to help the people. When no CARES package deal voted on or even discussed. So they got minutia up there testifying now about the CARES Act bill. We don't want to hear no testimony. People want money. People need protection from being thrown out on the street. We don't want to hear no testimony. We don't want to, people have had enough of that, and they're saying enough is just enough. Even when it comes to race relations, y'all heard that on the news too. Those officers were not charged at all with Breonna Taylor's death. People have had just enough. I don't even understand that. I mean, I understand it, but what I'm trying to say is, why would you sacrifice a lot of lives when you can just put 3 people in jail? That just doesn't make sense to me. Does that make sense to anybody out there? I mean, it's just me. It doesn't make sense to me. 2 cops were shot in Kentucky. People are getting hurt in the protests. So people are getting hurt on both sides, on law enforcement and protesters. That just doesn't make sense. You'd rather not lock up 3 people than to have hundreds of thousands getting hurt in the street. Oh God, who do we have running stuff? That's all I can say. I mean, aren't they supposed to be innocent until proven guilty? Don't they supposed to get a free trial? So what's the problem? If you say justice is fair, what is the problem? Why can't they just be locked up? No. Okay, I'm not gonna get on that because y'all know me. Y'all really go on y'all left field. But back to Nancy. Nancy, what is wrong with you, honey? I just don't understand, because see, I think what happened, let me tell you what I think this is what happened to Nancy. I think she got the big head because these polls lately in the early part of September and right after Labor Day was showing Joe Biden ahead in a lot of states by, anywhere from 2.8 point, 12 point margin, right? So I think she got the big head and what we call back in the old days, putting your cart before the horse, or counting your eggs before the chicken hatch, you know what I'm saying? I think that's what she was really had going on up here. But see, you cannot do that. I think that, she had that big head and said, well, we ain't gonna turn it down because you see, January we'll have control of everything. So we can pass our own stuff then and make it as big a package as we want to make it. I mean, this is me. Y'all know and say what I think. So I think that's what was going on in her head, right? But she's too old to think like that. Come on, Nancy. You're older than me. There is no way that I would have put the people of the land in a precarious situation like that. I would have taken whatever I could have gotten the Republican Senate to agree on. And then, and only then in January, if the Democrats would get control of everything, then we would change it and make the package bigger. But see, I'm gonna tell you something. When people are used to getting just everything they want on a silver platter all their life, then they don't know how to take little bitty things at a time, a little bit of this at a time, because they're so used to getting the whole thing, right? Mm-hmm. So Nancy got a lot of that in her personality, because we know that she was rich, grew up rich, that sort of stuff. So, she grew up with the silver platter. And see, that's the reason why, to me, those kind of people don't really need to be politicians. A true politician has to be somebody that has come up through the ranks, through the people, through the ordinary man, through the ordinary man, so that you can relate to the people of the land. If you can't relate to the people of the land, you can't serve me. It's just as simple as that. All right. Okay, look. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take a break, and when I come back, I'm going to show you all my shield that I wear. and my mask. I'm gonna bring it over here and show it to y'all. Okay. All right. So stay tuned when I come back. I got to talk about the election and what happened this morning on the news. And I got the really funny surprise for y'all at the end of the show. Okay. So don't go away. Share the show. Come on back. I'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Tanya Memi. I'd like to introduce you to Natural Action Technologies. They make free flow devices that produce structured water. Well, you're probably wondering, what is structured water? All right, think of it this way. If you were to take a gallon of water to the top of a mountain stream and then pour it down the stream and run to the bottom of the mountain and collect the same gallon of water, it would be structured. It's this natural action of water tumbling over rocks, down waterfalls, flowing through twists and turns as it actively descends a mountain. This motion structures the water. Water molecules are free to move and dance with nature in an energetically alive, fresh, and vibrant manner. Through this process, the molecular structure of water is changed to reflect less surface tension, neutralize toxins, and clears memory and balance on a particle level. Drinking Natural Action structured water is the way nature intended water to be, from the source. It hydrates your cells, makes your skin and hair softer, and ladies, it also makes your nails less brittle. Here are some other benefits from drinking structured water. It helps to increase your mineral and medication absorption. It neutralizes all toxins from the source of the water, which allows them to flush through the body. You'll have healthier gardens and plants when watering with structured water. It's healthier for livestock, and your pets will love it, even fish. It improves aerobic bacterial activity in your septic systems, and it also increases the longevity of all the systems that use water, including reducing the amount of chlorine needed for spas and swimming pools. It also helps hydrate you so that you don't need to drink as much water. Have you ever noticed when you buy bottled water from the store, there is a laundry list of added ingredients on the label, like right here? Well, they say it's for taste, but these added ingredients are different forms of salts, and salt makes you thirsty. Therefore, you need to drink more water, which makes them more money. But with Natural Action structured water, you hydrate your body 30% more than with other water products. Our scientifically designed free flow devices come in several sizes depending on your use. We have a commercial unit for your farm, business, or nursery. We have a home unit that attaches easily to your main water line, making your whole house structured. We have a garden unit that attaches to your hose, and we have a very popular portable unit that you can take anywhere. We also have a shower unit that easily screws onto your existing shower pipe. Taking a shower under structured water feels like you're showering under a waterfall. You will not want to get out. When you use Natural Action structured water on your plants and vegetable gardens, you can almost hear them grow. Strawberries have been known to grow so large that they won't even fit into a coffee mug. Your tomatoes will be larger and sweeter too. And by washing your vegetables or fruit with structured water, you'll actually structure your food, which will make your food taste fresh and alive. And your rose bushes will grow into rose trees up to 13 feet tall, and I've seen it. And your bouquets will last twice as long, and it also increases your harvest time 2 weeks earlier. I mean, how would you like to have fresh tomatoes at the farmer's market 2 weeks before anyone else? In the morning, pour your juice through the unit, and it'll taste better and softer. Add several drops to your coffee cup, and it'll be less acidic. In the evening, pour your glass of wine through it, and it becomes instantly smoother and more aromatic. Our bodies are mainly made of water, so by drinking Natural Action structured water, your mental clarity will be brighter, your emotional state will be happier, body endurance will improve, you'll sleep more sound, and your body will heal faster. So when you care about the food you eat, you should also care about the water you drink. Natural Action Technologies devices provides the truest form of water on the planet. The units come with a 90-day money-back guarantee and a lifetime warranty, so you have nothing to lose by trying it. I did, and I love it. Give it a try. Your mind will thank you, your body will thank you, your plants, your pets will thank you, and your life will be enriched. We invite you to experience water in its highest truth. Here's to better health and well-being with Natural Action Technologies.
Okay, I'm back. Well, one thing I can say about that now, structured water, to me, it does um, help your body heal faster because uh, I was diagnosed with a severe case of pneumonia. I was only in the hospital for 72 hours. That's right, 72 hours. But normally, a case of pneumonia like that, a person is going to stay in the hospital for probably 5, 6, 7 days, maybe, probably definitely nothing under 7 days. Okay, all right. They were, even the doctors was amazed, um, at how fast I recovered. It seemed like it was just almost overnight. Uh, Particularly that Thursday night, overnight, my temperature went from 105 down 98.6. And I was oxygen level went up to 100%, and so God was good. Of course, I know God sent a bunch of angels down to me too, but I also have to think that taking care of my body myself prior to this setting upon me, that my structured clean water helped my body to heal faster. Okay, all right. Thank you, Daphne. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. How are you doing? Okay, now I want to talk about the election. hmm Like I said earlier, I think that because of what Nancy did, Joe Biden, if you lose the election, don't blame anybody but no, Nancy Pelosi. Do y'all even talk? Because if you had talked, seemed like to me, if you if you guys talked uh, all the time, or you have some type of relationship, or I know you're not in any office now, but you're trying to be president. So seemed like to me you would have told her, look, Nancy, take the skinny deal, for now, and let's just see what happens. But no, she, maybe you did tell her that, and she still just did what she wants to do. I don't know. But like I said earlier, if you lose the election, Joe Biden, don't blame it on nobody but Nancy Pelosi, because she just handed your election, your chance for maybe the presidency, straight on her back over to Donald Trump when she turned down a skitty deal, took $300 from some states from people, and $400 for other states from people, and uh, a mandatory non-eviction notice. She took that away from people. That was part of the skinny deal. And she voted down the deal. She said no, they wasn't taking it. So, I mean, like I say, people are going to remember that on November the 2nd. People are going to remember that. And I'm not talking really parties here. Not really. Because when you think about it, everybody's affected by this coronavirus and this crisis. Republicans, Democrats, and independents, right? So I'm talking just people. People are going to remember that, So anywho, the other thing I want to say about it is, yeah, a lot of people have a problem with Joe's candidate. I mean, his nominee for vice president. But I think it should be a woman. Should it be a woman of color? I think so. That's all I'm saying. I don't have a problem with it. I can say that. Because they're the ones running. See, that's why I don't run for office. I just like to talk about politics. Now, the other thing I want to talk about as far as the skinny deal and this unemployment thing. Some of the governors circumstance surrounding coronavirus, then they still get their unemployment check. And I think like in Tennessee, I think the max is only like $240 a week. And then other states, it's less than that, especially in cheap, low economic states like Arkansas in Mississippi, West Virginia, states like that, it's probably even lower than that. But some of these governors have took it upon themselves to, now that the CARES package is gone, no more help coming from the government, they've taken it upon themselves to go back to the way old unemployment was, when you had to receive old unemployment. You have to look for 3 jobs a week. And they said that you got to show proof that you have looked for these 3 jobs every week before you will get your weekly check. What jobs? Then y'all just hear that 8.6 million more people just got laid off. What jobs? Look for what jobs? See, that's the first problem I got with that. And the governor of Tennessee is one that got on this bad way, that has taken it upon himself to require that. Governor Bill Lee. What jobs, Bill? Can we apply for yours? Because see, I have a problem with that. You can get mad at me all you want to. I have a problem with that. Now, let me just point something out to you, Bill. Bill, listen to me carefully. You're Republican, right? Okay. Donald Trump is Republican, right? Okay. Now, I think that Donald Trump signed an executive order before Labor Day demanding $300 a week for the people of the land for unemployment. Does anybody recall that, Bill Lee? I know you do. Now, wait a minute. Now, you're supposed to be a Trumpeter, right? You're a Republican, right? So you're in Donald Trump's camp, right? Well, I wonder, does Donald know that you are requiring now the people of Tennessee who drawing itsy bitsy spider dollars for unemployment now that the federal help is gone, I wonder, does he know that you are now putting more stipulation and stress on people that's going through the coronavirus and crisis of COVID-19, putting more on them, putting more burden on them, asking them to look for jobs that are not there. I wonder, does he know that? Well, he does now. He does now. So I'm just wondering, how are you going to explain that? Because I know you're not going to explain anything to me, but I'm just wondering how you're going to explain that if he asks you about that. Are you like defying his executive order? Are you like counteracting his executive order? Are you really trying to say, well, no, I'm not really for your executive order of $300 a week for the people of the land, so I'm just going to require them to look for jobs? I mean, I'm just wondering. I mean, I'm just putting it out there for thought. So I'm just wondering how your troop leader is going to feel about that. So I mean, makes no difference if people think, well, he just did that for show. But you know how Donald is? Donald don't care if he does anything for show. He expects for y'all Republicans to be behind him, and he don't expect for you to take any action to counteract what he has done. But it seems to me, Bill Lee and other governors that are requiring this, it seems to me that is exactly what you are doing. Donald, doesn't it seem that way to you? I mean, I'm just saying. Okay. All right. I think that I've talked about everything except this one thing. May Justice Ginsburg, rest in peace. She lies in repose at the Capitol, on the Capitol porch today. And this morning, the president and the first lady went out to pay their respects with Donald had on a black mask. I think that was part of the funeral procedures that everybody wear a black mask because y'all know Donald thinks that he's invincible to COVID-19. So anywho, he goes out on the porch, him and Melania, and the people just start booing him and chanting and hollering, throw him out, throw him out, throw him out. If you want to see that, it's on YouTube. That's probably the only place that he can't have it removed from. Throw him out, throw him out, throw him out. And when he realized what they were saying, he looked at Melania and did like that. Like he couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe that they were saying that and that they were booing him. Because I just really don't think they were booing Melania, Donald. Because I think everybody understands that she has to fall in line with whatever you say. But you just couldn't believe that they were booing you. Well, they were. But let me tell you, let me point out the most important thing that I noticed about this, y'all, and Donald. Donald, these were your people. These were Caucasians. These were not brown, people of color, or minorities. These were your people. People like you. That's why you couldn't believe it, I think. But see, Donald, people are upset, just as upset with you as they are with Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, they're upset about you, your handling of the coronavirus, the way you handle release of race relations, the way you believe in using law enforcement as force, as some kind of not a democracy, but like a king uses on the people of the land. They're upset with you about a lot of things. At least they're only upset with Nancy Pelosi with just one, but they're upset with you about a lot of things. So these were your people that was out there booing you, saying throw you out. It wasn't my people. It was not my people. These were your people. So anyway, that's what happened this morning. Woo! So I'm sure he's still fussing and cussing about that. But Donald, that was just a small crowd. That was just a small crowd. Can you imagine and how many millions of people feel the same way? Yeah, you can imagine it because you know exactly what people are feeling and thinking about you. Some people want to say that you don't know what you're doing, but you know exactly what you're doing. You get to do what you want to do because you really don't have any friends. Somebody cut me off. Somebody cut me off. They cut me off. I'm back, but they cut me off. Because I was talking about, because I was saying what I wanted to say. You're going to cut me off and then bring me back. Look, I have the freedom of the First Amendment too, just like you. I got freedom of speech because y'all know I always say, look, free thought is a philosophy and not a policy. Okay? You can't control what I think up here. You can't control what millions of people think. That's just what they're thinking. And they're thinking it and voicing it. Because it wasn't me out there in front of the Capitol hollering, boo, 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 throw him out. It wasn't me. It was not me. I've been right here on my stay at home. Okay, this is social distancing. But anywho, always remember that everything that is involved in your life has something to do with politics. So yeah, y'all need to get involved because some of it is just really funny. Some of it is just crazy. And some of it is just really sad. And a lot of it is just ridiculous. That's the way it has gotten to. Okay. Now, to end the show on a funny video that I have for y'all so that y'all can have y'all laugh for the day, because I've had many of them. Like I say, I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning, but I've had my lunch, and when I get ready, I'm going to take my medication. I'm going to lay down, watch me some movies. So that way, if I doze off to sleep from my medication, I'm done for today. Because I have finally gotten this off my chest. I just had to get these things have been balled up in my chest for at least 6 weeks. I just had to get them out. And so I'm kind of glad that I didn't get them out early because politics is changing ever so fast. Politics right now is changing just as fast as technology used to change, okay? Every day is something different. And not even every day, almost every hour. Almost every hour now, okay? All right, so listen, I'm going to show y'all a real funny video. Has nothing to do with politics. But I just thought you could use a good laugh at SHOWTIME. What is SHOWTIME? At SHOWTIME. SHOWTIME happens to be noontime or daylight. If you watch my Friday night show, you'll find out where that came from. All right, watch my show from last Friday night. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to share the screen with you and let y'all see this funny video, okay? And I hope y'all enjoy. Okay, I'm gonna get it in there and I'm gonna make it large first, okay? Now it is showing, and I'm gonna hide this. After the video, I'll be right back, all right?
See what you done did? You got us thrown off the train. You and your big mouth.
Oh my goodness.
What you asked that man for a tip for anyway?
Yeah.
They wouldn't have never known that we wasn't legit.
Shooting everybody. Well, I gave him good service and he didn't give me any money.
They didn't have to ask that man for no tip. You blow that cover.
Well, he threw a roll at me, so I threw a chicken leg at him. He had it coming. I didn't know they was going to throw us off the train. Lost my shoe. Look at my hat.
You had to go and open your big mouth. I told you before, keep your mouth shut because you always get us in trouble. Hurry up, get that stuff out. Look at all that mess.
Well, why don't you get
I told you to buy you a backpack anyway. I don't know what you're doing with that mess. You know that suitcase is broken.
Help me pick it up. Look at all this stuff.
I'm not picking up them bloomers. That's against my makeup.
Oh,
Come on here. Now how we gonna get to Nashville anyway?
I guess we're just going to have to hitchhike. But we got to get to Nashville. My bloomers.
How about get them bloomers in that suitcase?
I'm black and blue all over.
Excuse me, ladies. Did I hear y'all going to Nashville?
Yeah, we got thrown off the train. Trying to get to
news for you.
Nashville.
This train here was going to New Orleans.
What?
New Orleans?
Nashville's going east.
See?
Oh, well, I'm directional challenged.
I told you that was wrong train to begin with. Come on here.
Good luck. Y'all have a good day.
Oh, my goodness.
Come on here.
We got thrown off the wrong train.
That's your fault.
Now we got a hitchhike.
Typical. Come on here, girl.
I gotta go to bed.
You know how many miles it is to Nashville?
I don't know.
It's 200. It look like it's 8 o'clock. That boat is not even open yet.
Well, that's what the woman said. I wanted to be the first one there.
You always want to be the first one there. Now we're here a whole 2 hours ahead of time.
You know, first come, first serve, so we can get that job.
Well, if we stand in line, you know it's going to be a lot of folks here.
Well, I thought that was the right time.
But did you get an appointment for us?
Yeah, she said just come on in around, when they open, but I thought they opened at this time.
Well, you ever think to ask the woman what time she open when you talk to her?
Well, we're wasting time. Why don't we just go on down to the boat?
Well, we
Let's
might
do
as
the
well
first
go
one.
ahead and get in line. Come on here.
You're always nagging me.
Well, you always mess it up. That boat is not even open yet. All you have to do is ask that lady what
I
time.
know. She told me what
Well,
time.
why do you ask what time? Come on here.
I
You
got
gonna
the
make-
time I shoe.
Well, get that shoe tied. You're going to make us miss that bus,
I
girl.
lost my shoe down there.
You done already messed up the job for us. Come on here.
I did not.
You did mess up. We would have had that doggone job if you hadn't opened your big mouth again.
Well, she says she's going to hire me as a waitress.
She wasn't going to hire you after you told her you couldn't swim. You know good and well we got to know how to swim to ride and work on that boat.
Well, I didn't know she was going to ask me that. She caught me off guard.
Well, she asked you. I had already told you. Keep your mouth shut.
You're always blaming me for everything.
Well, it is your fault. I need that job. You know we got to get to Nashville.
I'll go jump in the river.
We got to get to Nashville.
Oh Lord. I thought y'all could use good laws. Doing a political show. Well, at the end of a political show, kind of take a little bit of the seriousness out of it, right? Well, that was me and my co-hosts of the Most Assembly Professor. We made that video in 2013 when we first became good friends. And we love acting. We are actors, professional actors. And we've done several skits together. And, I'm grateful that the Lord has spared me, has me feeling almost back to my old self in 2013 again. So I must have been out coming down with that pneumonia for a long time. Thank you, Jesus. But anyway, hopefully we can get together with our camera crew and go ahead and do another video of part 2 of On Our Way to Nashville. Okay. And this time, I guess we'll be wearing our masks. So stay tuned for that because I'm going to talk to them about that actually in my birthday celebration. So when I have all of them together, we'll see what we can come up with so we can put one together. Okay. And that was me learning how to edit on my first edit, one of my first edits that I did. I actually did all of the editing of our skits because I was trying to learn how to edit. So now I consider myself a novice at it. I think I know what I'm doing. I do all of my show videos and actually even did the monologue to my movie as well as some of the other parts of it. And must have been acceptable because it ran on Amazon for a whole year. So I must be a pretty good editor. All right. Because Amazon don't take no stuff, no crap. All right. Listen, thanks again for tuning in midday on my sheet time. I love that. I'm going to be saying that all the time, y'all. This is my sheet time, noon, midday, and daylight. So the Lord say the same. I'll see y'all again in October. And we're going to find out what's going on in the world of politics at that time. All right. All right, y'all. Love you. Bye-bye.